Fantasian Neo Dimension requires a 64-bit system with Windows. October 11th. A Ryzen 3 1200 or Core i3-6100 processor, 8 GB RAM, and a Radeon RX 560, ARC A580, or GeForce GTX 950 GPU. It needs 15 GB storage and supports DirectX 11. 41080p at high settings and 60 FPS. 16 GB RAM is recommended with Intel Arc GPUs.
Ignorance is the greatest sin.
Be gone!
Let us determine the fates of this world together.
Marvel Rivals requires Windows 10, 64-bit, version 1909 or newer, and a broadband internet connection. The minimum specifications include an Intel Core i5-10400 or AMD Ryzen 5 5600X processor, 16 GB of RAM, and a graphics card such as the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 Super, AMD RX 5700 XT, or Intel Arc A750. The game supports DirectX 12 and requires 70 GB of storage space, with installation on an SSD recommended for optimal performance. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle requires a 64-bit processor and operating system, specifically Windows 10. The minimum specifications include an Intel Core i7 at 3.3 GHz or AMD Ryzen 5 at 3.1 GHz, 16 GB of RAM, and either an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 Super 8 GB or AMD Radeon RX 6608 GB graphics card. An SSD is mandatory for installation.
Myths. History. Just different ways to interpret the past. Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs, scattered and buried. Just waiting to be found.
You can't just run away from your problems, Indiana.
Watch me. Throughout history, mankind has built sites of great spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the world, you get a perfectly aligned circle. I've had run-ins with these guys before. Trust me, it ain't a walk in the park.
Okay, then. Let's see if we can keep up.
What do you mean if I can keep up? Patron of the fallen angels. Protector of the Chirkulimagni. The Great Circle. You have any idea how old that was?
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, 1 and 2 Remastered requires a 64-bit processor and operating system with Windows 10 or newer. The minimum specifications include an Intel i3 or AMD FX 4100 processor, 4 GB RAM, a GeForce GT 621 GB or Radeon HD 8670D GPU, and 2 GB of storage space. For optimal performance, it is recommended to use an Intel i7 or AMD Ryzen 7 5800 processor, 16 GB RAM, and NVIDIA RTX 2080 or Radeon RX 6750 GPU.
The future has always been written.
Don't fight it, Raziel.